Hello, my name is Amanda Lola. I have a business called Yoga Lola, and I have been studying yoga for more than 10 years at this point. When I began doing my yoga practice, I began because I had some low back issues, and I started with Pilates, and I said I'm never, and then I started to get into yoga, and I said I'm never going to get into the yoga philosophy. It's all this woo-woo stuff, and more than 10 years later, I'm fully immersed in the yoga philosophy and all the woo-woo stuff and kind of anti-science at this point. So I do have to introduce myself as saying that I am someone who has been pro-science. I was doing research. I was in graduate school doing my PhD, and I realized that somewhere along my second year or so, I decided that this just wasn't for me, and I wanted all these questions, these big questions, to be answered in my life, and felt like science should answer those questions, and realized at the graduate level that it doesn't. So it's more like spirituality, religion, that sort of thing. I'm not really pro-religion, so I don't even know why I said that. But however, this video is entitled How to Calm the Mind, but I did want to give an introduction. Calming the mind, why would we want to do something like this? The mind is important. We need the mind to think. We need the mind to solve our problems for us. We do, but we also need to be in control of our mind, because actually during this time in our lives, during this time in history rather, the mind has become so dominant in all of us, not just in the United States, everywhere in the world. The mind has become so dominant, and is actually, some would even say that it can be considered to be like a disease, can be even causing disease in our society. I know that does sound very woo-woo and very sort of out there, but there's a lot of research, there's a lot of studies, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that this is the case. Believe me or don't believe me, if you are having trouble sleeping, if you are having other mental disturbances, if you're having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, you just can't shut off your brain, you should try yoga and meditation. You should try some of these things. The first thing I'm going to show you is a breathing technique. The second thing that I'm going to show you or talk to you about, I can't really show you how to actually meditate, because you have to do that internally. You have to do that by yourself, and there's a lot of information out there on how to do this. I will just give you a little brief introduction about it. So first off, we're going to start by calming up the breath. So slowing down your breathing. The reason we do that, think about it. Ironic that I'm saying think about it, but do think about it. So when we are in a state of panic, when we are feeling that fight or flight happening, when we are stressed out, our breathing, what happens to our breathing? Our breathing tends to become shallow. The breathing rate increases, the heart rate increases, just all kinds of physiological things happen with the body during these stress responses. So the idea is, with the first step of calming the mind, is going to be calming the breathing. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, I want you to exhale everything out. So exhale everything out. You can start right now. Exhale everything out, and you're gonna count on your inhale. So you're gonna inhale, and you're gonna count. So maybe it's 3. Then you're gonna pause just a second, and you're gonna exhale for that same count. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're going to repeat this process several times. Your count may be 5, your count may be 2, your count may be 8, whatever your count is. Count probably won't be 8, but depends on how fast you count. Anyway, so you're going to slow down your breathing. You're going to do that 5 to 10 times. Typically, you're going to want a quiet space. You're going to want a calm environment, preferably where someone's not going to disturb you. If you are going to do this before you go to sleep, carve out maybe 15 minutes before you do. You plan to be in bed or whatnot, maybe 30 minutes for those of us who have a really hard time kind of settling down after a whole day and your brain's just going and you just need to turn it off. So start with calming down your breathing. So sit in a quiet place, sit up nice and tall. You can sit in a chair, just make sure that your feet are touching the ground so you're grounded. Excuse me, you may sit in lotus position, you may sit just cross-legged position, you can sit on a bolster. Make sure your hips are a little bit even, so rock back and forth from left to right. So you do, another thing that you can do also is place a hand just above the belly button. So as you inhale, you notice that your hand is moving away from your spine. So your belly is kind of like getting like a Buddha belly kind of a thing. And as you exhale, your belly button should draw in toward your spine. So you can kind of use your abdominal muscles to help you exhale all that breath out and repeat. And you can keep that hand there to sort of guide you. So we're going to be calming the mind first by slowing down our breathing. The second thing that we're going to do is when you're doing this, you're probably going to have tons and tons and tons of thoughts coming up into your head. And rather than struggle and fight with them and get angry at them and have all these other kinds of emotions and entertain them and think about them, just try to go with it. Just try to let it go. Imagine I like the analogy of clouds in the sky. So imagine that your thoughts are coming to you just sort of from out of nowhere. It's just like a passing cloud would go in the sky. So you're noticing your thoughts and you're just noticing it. Maybe you ask a question about it. Maybe you even say, I wonder what my next thought is going to be. So you're going to be asking yourself these sort of questions, and without judgment. That's really important. I can't stress that enough, without judgment. So it's not like, oh, is this a good thought, is this a bad thought, should I be thinking this, I'm supposed to be meditating, I'm supposed to do this. No, that's the mind. All of that, what I just described, is the mind, and that's what we're trying to tame. It's not that we shut down the mind. It's not that meditation is not about not having a mind. It's not being stupid. It's not, it's just taming it. Taming is a great word, I think, because you want to use the mind. It's sort of like akin to a calculator or a computer. So you definitely want to be able to use these tools. The mind is a tool, so you definitely want to be able to use that when you need it. But you also want to be able to shut off your computer, shut off your calculator when you're not using it, so it can recharge its batteries, because if it just keeps going and going and going, which is what the mind loves to do, you really will just drive yourself crazy. And interestingly enough, that's sort of the state of mind that, no pun intended, that we are in our society at this time. So, having said that, I know this was a quick video. I didn't really do a whole lot of demonstration, but having said that, you have your calming breath that you can do, and you can do that for several minutes. You can also look up and do some yoga poses as well. Might I suggest legs up the wall, so you just lie down on your back, scoot your booty all the way up toward the wall, and put your legs all the way up the wall. You can also just lay there. That's an extremely calming pose. There's many other yoga poses that you can do in order to begin to calm the mind as well. And yoga is a great thing to do before meditation, because it actually starts juicing up the body and allowing the energy and the prana to flow through the body, and release blockages and all that sort of thing. I know that all this stuff sounds totally woo-woo to people who are not, don't believe in all of this stuff. But I would just say, just try it. Try to slow down your breathing, and you can do this not only before you go to sleep. You can do this at any time during the day when you notice that your mind is going crazy, or that you're stressed out, or you notice that you're breathing, you're not breathing, or your breathing has become erratic. So you can definitely use this technique of calming down your breathing. Maybe some people say it's taking 5, or taking 5 deep breaths, taking 10 deep breaths. It sounds super cheesy, but it actually really works. And the more you practice it, the better you're going to become at it. So definitely work on that breathing. And you can also listen to any kind of calming natural rhythm music. Ocean waves is my favorite. Gong, anything that is going to help you calm the mind as well. So you can try that little bit of meditation before you go to bed and listen to some calming waves or something. Hopefully this helps you and have a great night's sleep. And I look forward to doing more videos in the future. And thanks for watching. Peace out.